Jim Woods, Eagle Financial Publications, and I'm very pleased here today to be with a very smart man and one that I've known a little bit. We've known each other a few months now.
Yep.
Dr. Alex Dobranowski.
You got it.
And,
You nailed it.
I always try to get it right, but sometimes you don't, Yeah. So Alex is the CEO of a company that I'm extremely excited about. Perhaps you've already written or read what I've written about this company. It's called Healwell, and it is an AI-powered company that's in the healthcare space.
That's right.
And the best description one of the best descriptions I heard was from your founder, Hamed.
Yes.
And he said that it was, think of this AI tool the way like a pilot uses a computer in the flight cockpit.
Yeah.
So the pilot is flying the plane, but he's got a whole lot of help, almost like the complete help
Yes.
from the computer, because it's a tool to help diagnose whatever situation, and he's to get where he wants to be.
Yeah.
And so give me the kind of, since we're talking about pilots and flight,
Sure.
give me the 30,000 foot
Sure.
take on your company, what you do, and how the company works, what the opportunities are for investors too.
Well, Jim, thanks for speaking to me today. Excited to get together and talk about my company. So you brought up this whole thing about co-pilots. Well, in healthcare, right, we have developed technology that now over 1,000 physicians use, and we also call it co-pilot technology, where it helps these doctors make decisions. And the mission of our company, Healwell, is early disease detection. So we launch these co-pilots that our physicians use, and it helps actually diagnose patients sooner, right? Identify at-risk patients, and it flags up to the treating doctor that, hey, there's something here you got to take a closer look at, right? And that's how we execute against this mission. So
how do you do this? Like, what's the kind of, give me a little bit of the nuts and bolts on how like, I'm assuming it's a large language model type. I know it's a large language model thing, but how do you get all the data in there? I know there's another company that you work with
Yes.
closely. So tell me about like how this product got to see the light of day and how you monetize it.
Yeah, great question. So we're a healthcare artificial intelligence company, and how we screen for the conditions that we screen for, which is about 400 diseases now, rare diseases.
So it's not just cancer or anything like that.
Yes.
It's a gambit of everything.
Yeah, it's a whole spectrum.
Nice.
And we're working hard to expand from 400, right? Because there's thousands of conditions, right? So we have basically large language models, small language models, ensembles that help us to screen clinical data and then help identify these patients that are at high risk of these conditions. And the way we're deployed is through some of our partnerships. So you're mentioning a really important partner of ours, which is another company called Well Health,
Yes.
which is one of the largest healthcare conglomerates in North America. And what we've done is we've deployed our technology into this partner company, Well Health, which has thousands of physicians. And then we're able to screen those records and help identify patients.
Is that that's on the individual patient and doctor side, but do you also do a lot of work with big pharma companies?
Yes.
And I mean, there's many different elements to the puzzle.
Yes.
Talk to me about some of those.
Yeah, so we don't actually monetize through health systems or physicians. We provide these tools to support them in their clinical practice, but where we have commercial stakeholders is with life science, medical device, and precision medicine companies. So picture this, right? We're able to compliantly screen records and help identify patients that are at high risk of diseases, right? Well, invariably, when these patients are identified and then their diagnosis is confirmed, they're usually then started on a therapeutic or enrolled in a clinical trial. And that's the value, right, for the whole life sciences industry. So we help kind of accelerate that whole paradigm. So it's really exciting work.
And now, what stage of the is this company in terms of like, how long have you been operating? What, I happen to know this already, but what is your path to profitability?
Sure.
I know the numbers look really good last quarter and
Yeah.
Q3 of 2024. 50 million run rate,
Yes.
and you're on kind of on pace for a 75 million in Q4.
Yes.
So what's that path been? Where did you, how many years now have we been public?
Yeah, so we effectively launched about 13 months ago.
Oh, okay.
So we're a new story.
New story, for
And
sure.
it's been a high growth, really entire kind of year, just over a year that we've been active, right? So when we launched, we were doing about 5 million in revenue. Now, as you said, our run rate is at around 50 million, and we're targeting to exit this year at 75.
That's fantastic.
So that's been exciting. But more importantly, we've also made some commitments to the street, right? Where next year, 2025, we're going to be profitable on a full year basis. So that's been a very important mandate of ours internally to get there, right? We don't want to be a company demonstrating losses for too long.
Right. Yeah, that's important for me as an investment analyst. I'm all about the earnings.
Yes.
And earnings growth, revenue growth, because a lot of startups that I've been presented with have a great idea,
Yeah.
but they have zero revenue.
Sure.
And to me, that is not a prescription for a successful investment. It may turn out to be like that by a takeover or something like that. If you build it, they will come kind of thing. But in my experience, that's not the better way to go.
Yeah.
The better way is to see a company like you guys making consistent progress on bottom line, top line, bottom line. So tell me more about the stock itself. I mean, I know it trades on the OTC,
Yes.
but you're looking to uplist. I hope.
Yeah, look, we trade on the Toronto Stock Exchange, right? We're a senior listed company. We're not on a venture exchange, right? We're on the Canadian Big Board.
The TSX.
TSX, yep. And then we trade on the OTCQX.
Right.
But as we execute going forward, right, we do have some ambition to also do a senior listing on a senior exchange in the U.S. as well.
Right. Is that what? Do you have a time frame on that in terms of like what you'd like, how fast you'd like it to happen? Or I mean, not that you can exactly peg when it's going to happen. These things are not up to you especially. But
yeah, like we have the wind at our back right now, right? So we're hoping sometime in the not so distant future, right, for this all to come together.
You think in 2025?
It's a possibility.
Yeah, great. I like possibilities.
Yes, a strong possibility.
Okay, that's even better. A strong possibility. So tell me about you a little bit, because I know because you're a medical doctor, and to me that adds the sense of legitimacy to this, because you're not just an entrepreneur. You also know this, like how a doctor would actually use these products.
Yes.
So that's like the perfect kind of convergence of smart and experience. So how did you get into this thing? You're an entrepreneur, I know, but you're also a doctor. So I mean, how did that's a pretty Renaissance man thing to be. So
yeah, well, thank you. Yeah, and I think it's a good mix for the space that I work in. And look, physicians they're busy, they're overworked, they're overloaded. So if you're going to try to get them to use new technology, right, it's got to be compelling, right? You don't want to waste everybody's time, and you also have to be able to show that this technology is validated, right? Like, what if you introduce some tech and then, it leads to a medical error, right? That's a catastrophe.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing that that I think people are afraid of. They're afraid of, like, even with a self-driving car, they're afraid it's going to take them to a bad neighborhood or to a wrong like, address or somewhere. I mean, and that's just a Waymo ride rather than your body.
Yes.
So you guys have done that though.
Yeah. So we're pretty proud of the fact that our technology is validated at a global scale, right? We have a lot of research that backs the safety of our technology and its efficacy. So that's kind of something that we lead with. And actually, that's been a tremendous help with our commercial partners, right? If you're going to work with a life sciences company, Well, the first question they ask is it compliant and is it safe, right? So no one's going to spend money on healthcare AI unless you can show those things.
I got you.
Yeah.
So tell me more about your personal situation, your
Sure.
story. I'm fascinated by individual stories, how people got to where they are.
Yeah, no, thanks. It's really kind of been a roundabout
Yeah.
path to get to where I am, where first, went to business school, ran track at University of Tennessee, and then was, after my track career ended, I was inspired to get into medicine. So, did my training, started my specialty training in diagnostic imaging, and that's when I started to dip my toes in the water as an entrepreneur. Started my first company, etc., which then my third company I had IPO'd in Canada a few years ago, which then led to the skills I have now in the capital markets and then the debut of Healwell AI.
At what age did you start your first company?
I would have been in my mid-20s.
See, that's the kind of thing that's the kind of inspiring story that I love. I know my viewers love too, because when I invest in a company, or when I tell people to invest in a company, it's not just the X's and O's.
Right.
It's the man behind it.
Sure.
So the more I know about the interesting kind of factor to me, like that's a big part of it. And also your track record too,
right,
is a big part of it. Of course, you have to have the product,
yep,
and you have to have the kind of pipeline to get it out there. You're working on that right now. You're working on the distribution element, because I know you have the product already.
Yeah, we are. So we're really quite proud of the AI technology that we have to help find patients that are at high risk of conditions. Now it's about, okay, can we prime time this?
Yes.
Right? Can we distribute this product now in multiple jurisdictions? I mean, we're operating in 4 countries today, but this is really special technology, right? That any country with a modern healthcare system could benefit from it, right? So we want to be globally oriented.
Yeah, I know you're in Germany.
That's right.
Now,
yeah.
And then you're in your home base is Canada.
Canada.
And you're in the UK.
Not UK. We're not in the UK
Not yet. Okay.
Nope.
What about America?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
We're commercially active in the US, and because we've grown also through acquisition, right? We're targeting US companies from an M&A perspective, right? So there's a lot of emphasis now on growth in the US.
You guys are actively acquiring partners that can help scale your business.
Yes.
I know when I first saw it, I saw a lot of acquisitions that you had made, and it was quite impressive actually. Yeah. But that's because that there's a path there that you see.
Yes.
That you're going to be able to do that too. So tell everyone what the kind of the reason, the kind of the core reason why they need to be involved in the company.
Yeah. So look, our mission, as I mentioned, right, we're anchored on being able to find patients that are being missed, like completely missed or undiagnosed for certain conditions, right? So that's really important. Like I think we've all had those, personal stories where
Indeed.
Somebody's issue was missed and it led to a horrible outcome. So that's what we're trying to fix. Right. But on top of that, we got a really great team, great board, incredible pedigree to build value, right? Through both capital allocation and through executing in artificial intelligence. And right now, if you look at healthcare AI, it's the top of the first inning. And I think we're establishing ourselves as an early mover. So all these things together, right? Our mission, we're an early mover, we're high growth, we're well capitalized, right? I think those are some strong reasons in terms of at least put us on a watch list if you're not going to invest.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. I mean, I have a special report that talks all about that. You can find it at jimwoodsinvesting.com. And I love this story. I love you. You're a great person. You're a great guy. And wicked smart. And that's the kind of people that you need to be investing with. So you want to invest with the people that know what they're doing and how they're going to do it. And I can't thank you enough.
Yeah.
Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.